allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Alderman Hacker, she's absent. She is caught up with mail. Alderman Zenadita.
Yes, here.
Alderman Kathy Burton. Here. Alderman Brenda Thompson.
Here.
Approval agenda. Motion.
Make a motion to approve the agenda for a meeting.
I'll second.
Motion made second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Alright, moving on to consent agenda. We have a motion to the consent agenda. Anything you want to go through the minutes or anything? Questions about it?
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I second that motion.
Motion made second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Alright, number 6, public forum. Anybody sign up to speak? Alright, good. Unfinished business, telephone services. It should be in your packet.
Yeah, it's in your packet. So the best option that we come up with is to go with Puma. It's gonna cost us $124, and it's like one of the last pages, so.
Yep.
So it's gonna cost $124.75 a month for 5 lines, for all the lines that we need. So it's gonna save us quite a bit.
Yeah, that's good.
So, if you guys, if we had your approval to move to UMA for the telephone service, and we will get that ball and roll.
Yeah, given the savings and convenience, you could make a motion to approve them as their new telephone vendors.
I'll definitely second it.
Motion made second.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Very good.
Anyone do roll call on that?
Oh, yeah, Alderman Hacker, Alderman Zee,
Yes, here.
Alderman Kathy Burton,
Yes.
Alderman Brenda Thompson.
Yes.
Alright. That resolution is passed now.
Blessings.
Thank you.
Alright, number 7, which is a hard one, but Brenda is leaving, resigning from the board after working very hard on the park and everything, more than I can take care of, you know? So, you know, I'm glad we had her. She had a very great ideas and open minds and got very far with our park and reached out and finding out information we probably would never find out. And plus she has that drive. So, Brenda, is there anything you want to say to the board?
I just want to say that it was a pleasure serving here, and as a citizen of this town, I'll do as much as I can with the time that I have. But I appreciate working with you all. Yeah.
Thank you for your service, your professionalism, and enthusiasm that you took to work on.
I believe in the preservation of this little town. I think we have a lot to offer. Yeah.
Also for that, it's in your package, she did submit her resignation letter, so we're gonna have to make a motion to accept that.
Yes, so with regret, we make a motion to accept your resignation.
Second.
Motion made second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. Well, thank you, Brenda, for everything you've done for us, and thank you for the beautiful picture that I get to hang up, but I'll get it up.
We will get it on the
I know.
I just gotta find a spot to hang it up.
Yeah.
So, and what's the time now? 6:11.
11.
16 or 11.
Everybody's
And I was telling Brian, I gave Adam the packet of the information on the park and where it's at. So if you have any questions as you're reading through it or whatever, just let She has gotten back, she's proposed some dates for a meeting for a group of folks from the Department of Conservation to come and preview the location.
Thanks, Brenda.
Sorry.
Also the August one too.
Okay.
All right. So Brenda, are you staying or you can
I
do whatever you want to do?
may sit there and Brian can come up here, if that's what he'd like to do.
Brian,
What
you
is-
vote on anything, right?
So,
should,
yeah, so regarding this issue, we've spoken with Mr. Helms, who's agreed to take on the vacant position and function as a new alderman.
I hope I fill the vacant seat as long as you've done a
Oh,
job.
you will, you will.
yes, and my recommendation is for Mr. Holmes to fill the seat and switching of chairs, exchange of chairs with Brenda. So, you know, it's up to the board if you guys accept. Mr.
Oh,
Holmes.
absolutely, yes.
Definitely.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
All right. Board accepts that. Brenda, thank you very much.
Thank you, it's been a pleasure working with you, Adam.
It's been a
I learned
pleasure.
a lot.
Yes.
Thank you.
Brenda, do you want your nameplate? You may
Sure.
have it.
Of course.
Thank you. Look, I'll have to have the.
Take the inside.
Yeah. Take the inside.
I'll get it out. Let me sit over here.
Come back.
Got it.
Wasn't necessary.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Okay. All right, what else we got going on? Is there anything else you guys have going on you want to talk about? Or-
Yeah, well, one thing, I guess we'll bring it up in the department reports on that regarding the sewer system. And then another issue is the status on things that need to be done for the city. April, you've been handling all that stuff on single-handedly. And a lot of times we don't know what the status of stuff is, so what I would propose is that, you know, every month if you give us, you give us a status report, like in writing, things that are pending, things that are near completion, so we know where things are. And then that'll also fulfill our requirement to have oversight on what the different employees are doing.
I guess also you were early, is there a way you can get us a copy of all the input bills to go over? Like,
Well, right now, they have until, I have a
I'm
copy.
talking about some of the old ones.
This only shows like what has not been paid, like from the 10th, they have until the 21st.
On about these.
Yes, I know. But I will keep them.
Okay, I know, I'm just saying to you,
I have told him several times, yes.
I didn't know.
I called him today and talked to him. So he said that he was going to get me a check for it.
Because I was looking at deficit, because some of them ones out, the other one, I can't, I'm not saying the names, but,
This one,
yeah,
he's been paying on it, so.
with arrangements, I guess.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I'm just making sure, because I don't want to get too out of hand.
Yeah, no, I got a hold of this one today, and then this one I've been making arrangements.
Okay.
And then along that line, if there's stuff that, you're doing a lot of stuff, so if there's things that you find yourself having a table a lot of time, because if someone walks up to the window or some other thing comes up, then let us know, because then the board, could probably do something about getting like some part-time help for you to come in to get you caught up, so that we're current and everything all the time.
All right. So you need any help on anything?
Right now, I'm just trying to get things together for the audit, and they called to set it up, so.
Yeah, I guess the minutes typed up on that little piece of clear paper.
What minute? Oh, the minutes?
Yeah, that clear paper, big old sheet.
Oh, I just have to print that off.
Oh, Okay, no.
Yeah.
It'll-
No, I don't have to type it up, I just have to print it off on legal paper.
All right. Thank you. All right, nothing else on your guys' side? All right. Emergency management, April, do you have anything?
No.
Are you getting training for that now, currently online, right here, someone's here, for emergency management stuff?
Yeah,
Okay. You just completed class.
How's that going?
I did one class, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually doing pretty good. I went to the, it was a FEMA class,
Mhm.
the 15th, last month I think it was, of November. And there was some really good information that I learned from it, so.
Okay, cool.
Doc, police department?
Sir, what do you have to report?
All right, well, we're trying to get the calls for service on here. There's a way we can look it up. Dispatch didn't send us anything, but they said there's a way we can find it in the system.
Mhm.
We're gonna try to work on that. Another thing I wanted to bring up, I know I talked to Adam about it. Certified police officers need hours every year, training hours, and there's one coming up in January. Crisis intervention. It's a free training, but it is a 5-day class. It's at the Jefferson College, Law Enforcement College in Arnold, Missouri.
Okay,
Yeah,
it's close.
yeah.
Just seeing, if I could possibly attend that, would be really good training and would pretty much get me caught up on hours for 20, 25 years.
Okay. Do you have a brochure pamphlet about the seminar, or do you?
I can get it online. I just saw it, I think yesterday on their page.
Okay.
But that'd be a really good training.
All right, so you can get that to April and add in the CC on that, so.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
And I'll take it forward too, but it's good for dealing for like people with spectrum disorders and things like that, or, suicidal intuitions.
Why is everything about me now?
Well, are you saying you?
That's-
I'm gonna get you on that.
Well,
All right, how's the car running, anything you need?
no, it's running pretty well.
All right.
Running really well, actually.
I spoke with Frank about that other issue. I guess you guys put your heads together, see how you want to address that, go from there. Since we're both chiefs, so. All right, fire department. Kathy?
Frankie.
We had 12 calls this month, 10 medic, 1 motor vehicle, and 1 mutual aid for St. Genevieve. The other thing is too, is we had a meeting for the district last week. Yeah, last week. Everything's starting to move forward. It's actually going to be brought up in front of the judge. I had to pay $617 for the land survey, which that came out of our funds at the fire department for that. It was for the jurisdictions of St. John County. It was their survey, land survey for the district of where the lines are. The other thing is trying to get a couple new firemen on, hopefully here before long they give me the go-ahead to come on, so that's what we're looking for right now. One of my assistant chiefs is going to be stepping down. He turned around and said he's had enough age, so give the younger guys a little bit of knowledge. So he ain't leaving the department on me, he's just stepping down. He's still going to be my truck engineer, but it was kind of heartbreaking whenever he told me that last month's meeting. So I'm in the process of looking at a new assistant chief. I think I got one figured out because he's always doing a lot of stuff for me and helping me out with calls and reports and grants. So I think we're going to try to put him as, and if it does happen, I'll announce it at the next meeting, and we'll go from there. And that's pretty well all I got on the fire department side.
Doc, street department.
The only relevant to me with that is, since we're dealing with sewer-related issues, that there's, are we gonna have to tear up a street to get at one of the shutoffs on it, or?
So the thing about it is with that, I'm not 100% sure just yet. So which that is gonna be something that comes about probably more to knowing if we have to.
Okay. And then related to that, I picked up those 2 5-gallon buckets of that chemical treatment thing, which are pretty expensive. Are we gonna use those, or?
Yes, we're gonna
For
use,
sure.
yes.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
Also, I was gonna ask, up there, was this by the next house, those
we're
roofs?
on,
Oh, yeah,
we're on
yeah.
street department.
Um,
Let's go to sewer and water and then we'll talk about
He's
it.
asking about up there by
Oh,
the
that
next
is a
house.
street.
Oh,
It's
but
that
yes,
bump.
okay, the street
The
side.
street side.
I'm sorry, you had me
I was
on
like,
two different versions here of what's going on, sorry.
I was like, well, we got speed bumps. Speed
I think what we're gonna do with that is, we're gonna try to see if we can hang off until spring, so that way we can bring asphalt back in and redo it.
Yeah,
Comes
it's-
on. We need to probably see with maybe Bowman's, Jokers,
Jokers.
see what their price is to do something like that. Or if it comes down to it, as in house dig it, put gravel back in, let them come back in and pave it. So that, you can do your 2 options and dig it out and fix the issue with the roots, or as in me with an excavator or something, fix the issue, fill it back in the gravel, and then pave it.
Since there's a lump in the road, and it's gonna affect snow plowing and stuff like that happens, as well as people tearing through there, and it's a nice speed bump. But do we need to put a cone by it or something? So that people-
Actually, myself, I think if we have some bump signs, put some bump signs there. I mean, if anybody's doing over 30 miles an hour, I'm going to tell them through there, but yeah. I just kind of feel that if we try to tear that open now and try to do it, and winter time comes on and we got gravel, big patch of gravel, we're just gonna push the gravel out with the snowplow
Yeah.
if it ain't frozen, so. I really don't wanna make another issue if we can keep from.
And then a while back,
Oh,
Mr. Mayor, a while back, you had brought up replacement of temporary or movable speed bumps or something on this street out here to slow traffic down. And it seemed like it would be a cost-effective thing, but I don't know where we were standing on
we never made any, I guess, progress towards looking into that more, given other things going on at the time, but they're not bumps, they're humps, they're called speed humps,
it.
so they're about 2 inches or so tall, and they're modular. A lot of places use it. Thank you, Brenda.
Welcome, thank you.
And so, I mean, we can look into that for hotspots, which does go down, especially with the school bus and everything. There's many kids that get picked up through 3rd Street. And, how many kids up by you?
Probably about 8 or 9 when we
So,
get back.
you know, it's
And how does that affect blading the roads and stuff like that when?
you remove them during the winter, they come up, and then you just fill in there with that seal, and you're good. The epoxy base,
Okay.
so.
All right.
Okay.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Okay, so I have a quote for keep a chain for the spreader.
I finally found
And
the
then-
CrossFit reference form for serial numbers, which was not fun. So,
We got these separate quotes.
Yeah, there's some, one's for the truck, and then the other one I just handed you is for the truck, the street truck.
Edward. Bill.
For what?
the chain treatment, you're looking around for one.
No, I didn't.
Oh, wait. I'll break it right up.
No. When did you ask me for this?
I didn't ask you.
Oh,
I don't know about it.
That is,
Yeah, the truck, The dump truck has an issue with where the brakes aren't working, power steering wasn't working, you run one thing, you can't use you can't operate the hydraulics on it. So it's basically kind of useless without, and unsafe to drive, and it's been sitting a while, so this is something we inherited that needs to be addressed.
And it's an 08.
And it was brought to Perryville for service, and this is the,
That's the estimate. Right now, we're only $420 into it, but to get that done, we're looking late on, expeditingly fixing and repairing. It has a whole front end and the steering box, pulling all that out. Because I talked to her today, they finally got all the prices on parts and reman parts, like, he told me. So that's where we're at on that. But that's been years. I remember years ago that thing had issues.
and is that what drives the spreader and everything?
Everything,
Or-
yeah.
So unless that's done, we don't have an ability to maintain our roads during the kind of wet weather, is that correct?
That's correct.
So this is a necessity. Then,
Or a truck
where do we
issue.
get money for this? Do we have funds for it, or an emergency fund, or anything like that, that may address it, or grant, or?
I mean, this is for the street, it can come out of the street fund.
And how far does that draw us down? I mean, in terms of, how we do percentages as we go along with it? Where would that place us? How much cushion do we have in that fund to tolerate an expense like this?
And, I don't know what the past, Mr. Helms,
That's
you
what I
might
was
know,
looking at.
whenever you were on board, I think that was a continuing issue with that truck too. I don't know the background of it, but I know it's been a problem child, and
Can I just make a comment
Yeah,
about that?
sure.
I was listening to that. This is an ongoing issue with something that does very little distance. Does a lot of work, but doesn't really go any place right in this little town. And I don't know if you remember, but it seemed like to me we had just put it in about 7 years ago.
Yeah, we just put that truck in last year.
Yeah.
Or year before last year, because it had a hole in the oil pan or something, because it rusted out from the salt.
So I was just wondering, is there a running total on what we've used to service this truck with over the years?
I have to look.
yeah, because
You
that
done
was,
put quite a bit of money in that truck for what you bought that truck for.
And I remember it hurt like heck the last time it was fixed, and I thought that was it was fixed for kind of good, a little while, not that that wasn't 10 years ago or something, but for as much work as we do with it, it's an awful lot of maintenance.
it is.
Mileage wise, so we drive this thing 150 miles in 3 years, and all of a sudden we have $5,000 worth of repairs, or $2,000 worth of repairs, another year, another 150 miles, and we got $5,000 worth of repairs.
And the thing about it is, this truck came from a company that salt spread and everything before. The bad part about it is, you don't wash them underneath out and clean them, you're gonna have problems, and that's what's going on.
And the ACVs dropping on that one.
Yeah.
And we're way over that was, if you probably add up all the repairs from what the purchase price is. I mean, everything has depreciation, but
Yeah,
it's getting to the point that's a quarter of what the valuation is.
yeah.
So we have a history of maintenance neglect from the city on that?
Well, I can't speak while I wasn't here.
Yeah, but
I
how do you,
don't-
how do you maintain the salt issue unless you take it to the fire station, have it washed out from underneath or something, but you can't take it to a car wash.
It was a
Well, I
second
mean-
hand-me-down truck, there was a salt truck previously, so obviously, it's gonna have some erosion, it's just
Right.
catching up. And I don't know, that was way before everybody, but I know that thing was in the shop, and those problems were going on back when I was, patrolling in that, so I got Cody Plow, and we almost went off that edge over here. So, I mean, it's just, I remember the oil pan issue, because it just right through, and the whole underneath is the same way, and our pump is too. So,
So it's not good it's like dealing with someone with this kind of business. You know, like,
Well,
sooner or later
We're
something
nickel
bad.
and diming to death on this thing.
Yeah.
And, but that's, you know, I looked up ACD tonight, you know, in case we won't make anything back. If it gets wrecked or totaled out, we probably won't even break even.
And is there like a certain state level of corrosion that is at currently that tell, you know, we can have some predictability and how the longevity of it?
Today, when I spoke to the service provider, this is just to get it up and going. That's not counting the additional issues we will have to face later on. This is just to get it going, where we can utilize this for the winter. And
We have
expedite
nothing
it.
else to use.
No.
Do we have an ability to, do we integrate it all with the county and we're, like, you know, we don't know what the weather's gonna be like for the next 2 months or 3 months.
No.
So we have to have an emergency plan available so that if this thing's not fixed or broken down, then we have a plan B and there's, you know, whoever's working the city isn't stranded here. I mean, people closed on ice days or something, but still, you want to be able to get out to Five Mill or whatever, get to the gas station.
The other thing is too, if it comes down to like too big of an issue, we got the tractor with the box plate. I mean, you know, the grader blade. Snow gets you a little too deep, we can actually plow with that, since we got a cab tractor now.
Yeah, and even when the snow scoops is what, $1,200?
I don't remember what they are, but the other thing is too, is if we have to get by, we can't, you know, with county or anything like that to help us out on, you know, if we need to send a spread or whatever, we can actually rig it up where we can use Big Jolly Green and put the spreader on the back of it, that other one, the gas powered one,
Yeah.
and be able to run the spreader if we have to. But
You know, when people put spread lime out on the fields, do they have there's a particular thing that they told me not to do that
yeah,
with?
it's a totally different
That's it.
setup.
You can't use it for
Well,
snow control,
you-
ice
You
control.
could, but
you can use fertilizer spreader, pull behind fertilizer spreader, it's just depends on what granule of your salt and stuff
Is that a fan spreader?
is.
yeah.
So maybe, I'm not saying to do that, but in the case of emergency, we have to start thinking about, okay, these are our 3 options, you know.
Well, I'll tell you one time before, and it sucked, but I remember the spreader went down before on us, we had to take scoop shovel and sit on the back of the truck and flip it across the road with somebody drove. So, I mean, it's, yeah, I don't feel like doing that, but,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. But I mean, that's where we're at on that truck, and I'm sure when they go look through the archives, you're gonna see a tremendous amount spent. I know deletion, that was a couple thousand to do the EGR delete. So,
$2,000.
$2,000 to the same as mine, but I had a newer year, but mine wasn't rusted out or anything, came to Texas. But this one, I don't have, and plus with all the transmission fluid, everything, they got replaced. If you look on there, inventory box, how long is that gonna last? You know,
I mean, plus the year after we had that truck, we had problem child with it. I mean, right out the gate.
If we were to replace this, I mean,
But
how much?
this is the issue we came up with, I mean, we focused on, was like, okay, you can go with preventative maintenance, and every year have something in the budget, and once you finish that winter, you take it in and have it set up for the next winter. Or you could use that very same amount of money to pay a payment on a newer truck. That's really where we got.
and it's, I think we're almost at that point, you know, with this one, because the frame's bad. I mean, we've all seen it. And I mean, they pretty much told me it'll work, but that's just to get the plow. It's pretty much as a dump truck now, for the most part. So, yeah, that's a big chunk. And the whole underneath's rusted, obviously, if you read all the subframe and steering and the steering box is cracked. I mean, it's just a mess.
What was the total bottom line on that?
4,000.
4,000.
That's
And
about
we're only $420 with diag
Yeah.
and stuff right now, labor. Park Hill Swallow. I mean, I know where two MoDOT trucks are, that they're single axle with spurs on them. They're 5. That's a quarter of what we got, and they got,
For what?
it's a snow truck, but it's a dump truck too, it's a MoDOT. And single tandem is for smaller areas, I don't know, 95, either or.
95?
9,500.
Could we get a note on that, and, is that what the payments on that wouldn't be that
There
high?
wouldn't be that high on that.
Will the bank give a note on a used truck like that, or?
They couldn't pay out less than 150,000, or I can look on Sourcewell and that.
All right, well, this is the first we're hearing about the amount, so.
I just got it like
Given
earlier,
the-
so.
Yeah, given the magnitude of the, you know, the repairs on it, then I propose that we discuss, now we know what the issues are, that we discuss it over the next week amongst us.
Okay.
And perhaps have, you know, like a morning meeting or something like that, and then come up with a plan to replace it if possible.
And
Because it seems like spending twice as much, but over time is going to be more economical, less painful to us financially, and then we'll have something that's more
Dependable.
because, I mean, the Army truck wouldn't even cost that much to retrofit with the brackets and stuff. It
Oh,
just-
yeah?
Yeah, but they actually still make that bracket, you have to
Well,
order.
let's look at that. So let's look at, keep that on the table as an option too. Using that Army truck.
Input, you wanna, what do you think about the white one? Or the green one? What do you think?
The green one looks pretty solid.
Well, I mean,
Yeah, that green one,
I thought that, didn't the green one already have it?
it used
Set up to
to,
have it?
it's got the toggle down there, and the front bumper, but they took the brackets off, but they still make the brackets.
I mean, technically, I mean,
It'd be electric though.
but you're gonna have to get your plow for the width of that truck, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you could be getting a little too big to be making one pass down the road. I mean, I don't care to
There's,
make one pass, but
there's 7-foot V wings. I was looking at different plows, Caldwell's. I called them to see if they had chains and stuff, and so, and they used to sell their plow trucks.
I mean, with this issue here, I think that, you know, should probably go in closed session on part of this issue
Yeah, I think we
too,
should.
to kind of discuss and see
Well,
where we can go and then bring it out to the public one. So,
yeah,
Yeah.
because, I mean,
Good. Then there's another bill here for the chain for $645, and that's to drive the spreader.
that
It's
is
the stainless steel.
that is the conveyor chain that brings material out to the fan. Anyways, we've been looking all over the place for one. I mean, I called a couple of places. I talked to a couple of the county, Perry County and all that, some of the guys I know on there, to see if they had a used one that would fit it, but we were gonna have to cut it down, re-weld it and everything. It was kinda gonna be ridiculous on the price whenever we called for a newer one. It was really ridiculous for the price of it. Airflow, they make stuff still, but that's a bigger one. That's for, I can't remember the size of that one. It's actually bigger than our other one.
oh,
And that's hydraulic driven, that's not power driven, so, electric driven or whatever. But there is a few things that we could talk about on that too, because I got a few things I could say to you, and you might, you know, we might be able to come up with a plan, so.
okay.
All right, but this bill for that seems reasonable, given that the unit otherwise seems like it's in good shape, because it's
The
stainless
unit's in
steel.
good shape, I mean, it's,
The chain's been
except
horrible.
for whenever it got tumbled over or whatever it did there, I don't know what
I don't know what
happened, but, the thing about it is, we normally, you know, in the past, we were supposed to, you know, the lean-to, it got brought up, we was gonna build a chain hoist in the lean-to, and that way we could back in there, take it off, and it'd be out of weather. Well, all the years, it sat on 55-gallon drums and had a tarp, the sun baked tarp, it ripped, water got in there and stuff, and just sit in it. That's kind of the reason why that chain probably snapped, because of all the rust. The
Oh, the
corrosion.
chain was in the whole length of it was in bad shape. So,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. So it's due, for replacement.
Yep.
So,
Okay.
all right. Let's see. All right. Water, wastewater, Frankie?
Anyways, on the water side, we thought we had a major leak. Anyways, we found out it was a resident that had a leak on their side. And then we had another one that had a leak on their side, so it wasn't us, thank God. Samples been coming back good. We did have an overflow on our tower. I caught it in time. It was the tower at the gas station. It overflowed. I can't give you an estimate of how many gallons it actually overflowed. I can give you what I got on meter reads. And it was showing, which I caught, like I said, I think I caught it in time because it was probably around 2,000 gallons on the ground lost, because that tower will overflow before the new tower will. And what happened was we had the cold temperatures come in and went down below freezing, and the transducer valve froze up and was showing the tower at 0. I got the phone call on it at about probably 2 o'clock in the morning, and we got it resolved. We got a heat lamp in there on it and everything, so it's working properly. Like I said, everything's been good on the water side right now. Tests and everything have been coming back normal and everything. The sewer side, the sewer and grinder side, I should say, the suction system side. So down at the sewer plant, we got a rotor that keeps on acting up on us. Don't know if it's a motor, don't know if it's a contactor, don't know if it's a relay. I personally myself don't feel comfortable enough to put my hands inside that control panel since it's old. And with that much voltage coming in, I'd rather a professional put their hands in that. I already got electrocuted once, so, but that's the problem we're having down there. Everything else has been being pretty normal down there, and so it's just, I don't know, it's not the gearbox or anything on the rotor. It's I'm going to say it's a motor getting hot and kicking it out, or we got an overload that's heating up and kicking out. That's what I'm going to kind of look forward to, which that'd be cheaper if it's or an overload, not a motor. We did have to change motors on them before, so it's no big deal changing the motor out. The other thing on the collection side of it, in the sewer system here, going to past couple of weeks here, it's been a problem child probably for the past 6-7 years, and we did not know the route to take to resolve it on one issue. And then on another issue, we have another line that's giving us problems, so we're in the process to dig the valve up. I'm going to cut the line. We're going to put hopefully a ball valve in, or whatever we need to do. Got some chemicals we're going to send down the line that it's called clog buster. It eats anything and everything almost down through the line, which is high dollar, but it works. I've used it plenty of times down here before to break stuff up. So we got that issue there. I know Adam here been keeping me informed on it and stuff. It's kind of hard for me to talk to the engineer and stuff, but we around and had a environmental. Yeah, the environmental came down. We're in the clear with DNR, so there's no issue with DNR. We done made the phone call. We told them what was going on. Or the environmental guy told them what was going on. So we're in the clear on that. But it's going to be to the issue where possibly tomorrow, if we can borrow your piece of equipment, we're going to open this line up. I done dug the valve up, and we tried to work the valve, and it's not. And what it is, and I don't know if any of you all know what it looks like, but they put gas valves in the ground for sewer valves. Supposedly back in the day, I guess them were state of the art and cheap money, and thought there would never be a problem. But when you got a 2-inch line, 3-inch line, or whatever that this is running through,
and all the toilet paper particles, hair, personal hygiene's getting torn, chewed up and making it liquefied. You still got your particles of debris. And anyways, it's only a slot about probably maybe a ½ inch to an inch wide, and it looks like a rectangle in there. It's not fully round. So that's the problem we're having, and hopefully this engineering, when we get this engineering done, I'm hoping it takes place of replacing this stuff. So the other thing is too, is we do have an issue with one grinder right now. We do have a grinder in stock on us right now. We're gonna try to, hopefully, maybe this weekend, I'm gonna try to see if we can knock that one out. I know me and Adam been running wild through the night, 11 o'clock at night, so trying to, because I know we have one resident that was having issues with sewage backing up, which we are taking care of that. Anyways, what it was so much pressure on the line, it was actually raising the pump up out of the pit. But we resolved that issue, hopefully, to where it won't do that at the moment. Anyway, so that's in the process. Tomorrow we're going to try to open this up, see what the clog is. Hopefully the clog is in that spot. If not, then we're going to have to open up roadways. And I'm hoping it's in that field because I don't want to have to tear up a new road. Anyway, so.
And then, since you mentioned the grinder issue and the retrograde flow, what I've learned recently from you guys is that there's one-way valves, check valves, to keep it from backing up into a place. So what I would recommend, I think, is that anytime a new grinder service or whatever, since those valves aren't that expensive, that we just make it part of our maintenance thing to put one in.
We talking there about,
Check valves to keep the sewer material from backing up into someone's home from the pit.
So they do make a check valve for the lateral side. That's where we'd have to dig the lateral side up.
Oh.
Now, each one of these pumps, even the new pumps that we are installing, they have check valves on them.
Okay.
Now with the new pumps, they're not on a guide rail system, it just sits in there. So the old system, which is the Meyer pumps, they have a check valve on the back of them, but if the pressure exceeds over a certain amount, which they're supposed to have hold downs on the pumps to hold them down, but whenever things are rotted out, you can't.
Mm-hmm.
Well, with the pressure that we have in our system, there's not enough pressure to raise one of them pumps normal status. But with the issue of having excessive pressure, it will raise one of them. Anyways, and that's what it's doing, it's taking the end of line and putting most of the pressure at it, and which the other thing is we do have air relief valves in certain areas, but these air relief valves are old. I don't know if they're working properly. I've never, I seen one go off, and it actually went off and wouldn't shut off. So we had to take a hammer and kind of get it to raise the spring back up because it's got corrosion in it. But to shut down the system to change one of them is another process.
So, and is there a way to maintain them, like lubricate them periodically?
So technically in reality, the new check valves that
I mean,
are,
that's the turnoffs for the blowout stuff that you're talking about.
yeah, well, that'd be your release valve, your spring in there. So technically, and I always say about this system, everything was galvanized, not stainless steel. So hydrogen sulfide, what does it do to, galvanize? It eats it. So, sewage water's got tons of it in it, so it just eats it. And that's just like these gas valves that they put in. They're steel, they're not stainless steel or plastic, PVC. So it's just eating them. So the issue we could have with this valve, and that's where I don't know yet until we open it up, if the valve fell apart in there and hold it back. So that's going to be the issue of if we find what we find tomorrow or whatever. So. And
then the parallel issue is the administrator of Marion Cliff has not been, I don't feel he's in compliance with maintaining his equipment.
Well, and the thing about it is that got brought up. The Aldermen, the environmental guy, went to go have a chat with him, and now we're
supposed to be pushing into compliance
Right.
with it, so.
Yeah, because it's been an unnecessary delay, and I mean, it's almost insulting, and he will need to take responsibility for his refusal to do that from his pocketbook.
Yeah.
And if I may say, I guess we spoke to him and we have DNR back in the teeth now. So at this point, he had two options and he agreed. The pumps, unfortunately, they didn't order backup pumps for the retrofits. And I talked to Bill, I don't know if you did, but I called Bill earlier today.
I haven't talked to him.
Open. So they're hoping, they got the pumps from Texas, so they should be in, and they're gonna put that in, get that all in compliance where we're gonna have more flow going down instead of what they're doing in. They're cutting their laundry down too as well, because it's just been overburdened right now, like me and Frank being out all night long freezing, trying to keep it out of people's basements and stuff, so.
And there's like a corollary to that too, and that is that his prolonged refusal to do that and being obstinate and assigning blame to the wrong areas on this and not taking responsibility for it. He further wanted to have his water bill reduced or something so that he could pay for the other. And what I would recommend as a chairman of the board is to refuse to do that, because his lack of responsibility in the beginning to address this issue has created a bigger problem, and it's not our responsibility to help him out of this particular fix. He needs to find an alternate source of financial aid or whatever, from a bank or whatever, to take care of it. Furthermore, we have to be consistent with what we do with the residents as well as the businesses that are in the area, and treat everybody the same way. And the city can operate if we're not in the mortgage and loan business. And we can't extend loans to people and fulfill our fiscal responsibilities to pay bills, etc. So they just need to find an alternate source of monies to pay their bills.
Once we get a full, invoice bill. So, because the secondary pump's captivated according to the environmental guy, so it's not even doing really pumping much anyhow. Because they tampered with it.
And that came from the issue of what supposedly his maintenance guy did. He
Yeah.
didn't notify us.
Yeah, he brought his own maintenance guy in, they went in the box and turned everything on and just overloaded it, so it started smoking,
Yeah.
so.
And then additionally, one of his residents, I believe,
Broke the discharge, which we fixed at our cost, and that's been since what?
In July.
July, and we've been waiting on that invoice to be paid
from him.
from him to the sewer.
So that's an additional expense that he's accrued with the city.
Yeah.
He's not taking responsibility for. So if that's the case and it continues, I would suggest that we take legal action because we couldn't go into his property with his vehicles or whatever and expect him to be happy about it or accept it. The reverse flow is.
Yeah, so, when he, at the time, he could have been buying $10,000 a day, and it's next to your property, of course, and he fails to realize that his actions affect everybody else.
Right.
It's accountability.
Right, it's been manipulative.
So we need to, like you said, set that precedence about holding everybody accountable on that.
Right, okay, good.
So that's Burton Cemetery.
Yep.
Yeah.
Parks and Recreation, animal control.
Nothing really on that. Brenda.
Well, other than that, in one of our last meetings, I discussed repairing the little caretaker shack at the cemetery, and right after mentioning it, that someone broke in and took the stove out of there, and jam the door open. So it's, it's a small shack, but in a way, it's a historic building. It's got sentimental value, and if anyone knows of someone who mysteriously showed up with a little stove over the last month or two, and is wondering where it came from, it may be from our cemetery, so I would offer a reward for the return of the thing or information about the person who took it so that we can prosecute them.
What kind of stove was it?
Like one of them top belly.
Oh.
Heating stove.
Yeah. And 2 tombstones. Remember tombstones today? Remember blank tombstones? They're gone.
So if anyone in the community knows of someone who has a friend or a family member that suddenly appeared home with a couple tombstones from our cemetery, we're on to you and return them.
They're not papers, nothing.
Wow.
And thanks a lot.
Halloween decoration.
I climbed the tower and took the cop apart.
Park, Brenda sent me an email, the commission wanted to set up a date where they can come down, look at our park and kind of get a feel of what it could be turned into, which should be in that packet as well.
Our city park?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, that's where we're at on that so far. I didn't set a date, because with everything going on and with, you and everything,
Right.
so I just didn't know what would work best. So, there's some dates I have available, and I'll forward that email to you and everything. I don't know if it's in there, it should be in there.
I think she's got everything in here, but I would like to hold off on that until we have a chance to look at it all.
Yeah, we need to.
Aye.
And then animal wise, yeah, there's been issues with animals, well, yeah, but can't catch them all. But
Can't catch them all, but you can sure paint them.
I saw one running around that had a pink.
Pink, I did too, I saw that too.
Yeah.
pink paint.
I wonder who did that.
I saw one with purple on it.
Oh, well, maybe that's right.
Around dot about this big.
He's got an assortment of colors.
But, yeah, there's issues, I'll be with you on that, because I'm not gonna disclose any names on this, because,
Okay.
you know how it is.
Yeah.
Other than that, what else we got there? All right, anybody got anything else? Jody, you got anything? Okay. All right, do we have a motion to adjourn and go into closed session?
Make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second it.
Motion made, second, all in favor?
Right.
Aye.
Any opposed?